Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I'm excited this particular day. Whatever place it is that you've tuned on to the Live Signatures Radio, it's another opportunity to be alive. Come to think about it. Listen, I am not in a hospital. I'm not feeling any pain. I am working. I am serving. I am of sound mind. I am grateful to be alive at this hour and at this moment in time. We are starting another series. This podcast is always going to be about purpose, productivity, and resilience, and very many other subjects along those lines. Yesterday we came to a close of a very powerful series. We were talking about the 5 signs that you've owned your purpose. You can go back the past 8 episodes and just take a look at it. Today we have an opportunity to start a new series, and we're going to be talking about the case for purpose in leadership. This is going to be it's going to be a fun ride. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Life Signatures podcast with Lawrence Namale. Lawrence is a life coach, author, and keynote speaker who loves to tackle different topics on purpose, productivity, and resilience. His mission in life is to awaken all your boundless possibilities available in you. Life Signatures podcast is dedicated to bring to reality every single person who knows that deep down in their gut, there's got to be more to life than this. And now, here is your host, Lawrence Namale.
Leadership is a subject matter that, let me tell you this, it pervades humanity. I don't know who you are or where you come from. You are affected by leadership. Either your own leadership, your parents' leadership, your community's leadership, your country's leadership. Leadership is all around you. In fact, everything, like John C Maxwell said, everything rises and falls on leadership. If anything is going on right in your life today, it is because of leadership. If anything is going wrong, it can be directed towards leadership. That leadership can be your personal leadership, or it can be otherwise, but leadership nonetheless. I've been in this life for quite a while, and I've seen different forms of leadership. I've also studied different forms of leadership and so on. I've aspired to be a leader. I have led at some point in time. I am leading at some point in time. You see, leadership is all about movement. It's all about our lives. A kid of 2 years can be a leader. I tell you, even from 5 years going forward, kids can be leaders. It goes without saying, they can lead themselves or they can lead other people. One of the things that we make a mistake about in leadership is we think that it's a reserve for a few people who are born to be leaders, and there's always this debate, are leaders born or are leaders made, and so on. It doesn't matter. Let me tell you this, every human being is a leader. If you fail in personal leadership, that's your life going to the drain. It goes without saying. So in my few decades alive, I have seen some things, and I'm going to address myself to the leadership of the country that I belong to as a citizen, the country of Kenya. As I was growing up, I only knew one president called Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. At some point in time, we started hating this man. Not really wanting it, because too much of something is poisonous. He was always in leadership. He led the country for 24 years. And towards the end of his reign, and maybe just not towards, but about maybe 3/4 of his leadership, the country was plunged into, an economic turmoil. Parastatal after parastatal was looted and failed. Debts just increased so much. And then there came a leader in the name of Mwai Kibaki. When he ascended onto power, the only time I remember him making inference of the 24 years of misrule of the country was when he was being inaugurated as the president, when he was being inaugurated as the third president of the country. That was it. And then the man went silent. But I tell you, if you ask any Kenyan today, who has been your best president in the 5 presidents you've had so far, they will tell you it was Mwai Kibaki. After Mwai Kibaki came, there was Uhuru Kenyatta and so on, and the jury is still out there on the things that he's done or the things that he did. But then, immediately after Uhuru Kenyatta did his 10 years, a new president came in called William Samoei Ruto. And in the day that these guys were ascending to power, the very first day, with dignitaries from all over the countries, all over the countries of this world, the dignitaries all over the world went to Kenya for the inauguration of William Samoei Ruto. Just before William Ruto could ascend to the podium and start speaking and delivering his maiden speech as President of the Republic of Kenya, his deputy president, the man called Riggy G, okay, that's a name that they have given him, Rigathi Gachagua, he rises up and will you believe it? He says these words. He said, "We have inherited empty coffers. We have inherited a country that has been looted." Now the thing is, you can say that, that's okay. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. It's not for me to judge. It's not for us to judge at this moment in time. However, it became a song. Week in and week out, inferences being made to the previous regime on how things had been looted, how coffers have been made empty, and so on and so forth. So you might be a person who is supporting William Ruto, might be a person who supported Uhuru Kenyatta, you might be a person who supported William Ruto's nemesis, who is Raila Odinga, and so on and so forth. All these gymnastics are around leadership. But we're discussing in these episodes going forward, we're talking about leadership worth its name. Because to be honest with you, the leadership that we see, the so-called leadership, we can actually put it in quotes. It is devoid of purpose. That's the most unusual thing about purpose. You see a leader, and I was telling my wife this just the other day, because where we live, I am told where we live is near the headquarters of the organization that has been given a large contract to repair or to build big roads in Uganda. That's where we live. And I'm told over and over again, this organization has been offering to repair the road that is connecting us to the main roads and so on, because it's a rough road and it gets spoiled, drainage is bad and so on. These guys have offered to repair that particular road many times. And the leadership, the local leadership in that area has always turned them down. And I've been asking, why? How would a leader, so-called leader, just put that in quotes, how would a so-called leader wake up every morning and see a rough road or a dilapidated road, a thoroughly damaged road, that it is in their territory? Talked about territory yesterday. It's in their territory. And they are okay with it. And there is a solution, and they do not want that solution. You know what I was told? I was told that the road being bad, unrepaired and damaged is a source of income to these leaders. Because every time they go and they make arrangements for them to have an earth mover to move some earth on that particular road and just make it smooth for a season of 3 months, they gotta put some money in their pockets through that process. So they are leaders. I don't know why we call them leaders. In my opinion, leadership and purpose must be the same thing. Because I said, every time you've discovered your purpose, you become a leader in that area of purpose. It goes without saying. Purpose should exude leadership. Leadership should be a result of purpose. But think about it. We're talking about these things as if there is an ideal. I mean, it's been so disconnected. Purpose has been so disconnected from leadership that we're thinking that purpose and leadership should be the ideal. It should be the real, the normal, the everyday. But it is not. If you've identified yourself as a leader, there's got to be a reason behind your leadership, and that leadership must be infused with purpose. That's why we're going to be talking in this series. We're going to be talking about the case for purpose in leadership. I don't know why we're even doing this. Let me tell you why we're doing this. We're doing this because the leadership that you see today at the family level. I used to see my ancestors. They would say that the woman is not supposed to eat chicken. That is selfish leadership, right? They say that the roasted gizzard is for the man of the house. Women are not supposed to eat some special types of food. And they call that leadership. The so-called leadership that we see a lot is selfishness. It's not leadership. It is just self-preservation. That people get crumbs. You know, Simon Sinek has written a book called Leaders Eat Last. You would think that it's something that it should be normal. But we need a book to remind us that leaders eat last. My friends, all of us who are leaders, and all of us are actually leaders, I will tell you this. First of all, you've got to identify the fact that purpose is always going to be about others. So is leadership. It is always going to be about the benefit of others. It is not about you. It is not about you. Listen, it is not about you. People normally make jokes about Christian leaders, and they say, in the Bible, Jesus Christ fed 5,000 people with 5 loaves and 2 fish. In today's Christianity, 5,000 people feed one person, one pastor, or one prophet. That is not leadership, friends. It is not leadership. There's got to be purpose in our leadership, and I'm going to expound on those things starting tomorrow. Stay tuned and bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Life Signatures Radio. If you enjoyed today's show, subscribe to Life Signatures Radio on iTunes, Stitcher, or visit our website at lifesignatures.libsyn.com. Life Signatures Radio, fresh, clean, and inspiring.